How's it going, everyone? My name is LilHavoc04. Today, we are asking ChatGPT about my brand new album and other stuff about me. Just see what it knows. So, let's jump right into it. Okay, so I asked it, explain the Dreams from the Reaper album by LilHavoc04 Music, me. Okay, what we do know, on his Twitter account, on his Twitter account, LilHavoc04 announced, when the Reaper comes around, open the gates. My debut album, Dreams from the Reaper, officially drops October 15th. The deluxe edition drops October 31st. There is a YouTube video uploaded titled Dreams from the Reaper plus Deluxe Full Album. On his SoundCloud, under his profile, the album is listed among his work. Here's a breakdown from the album Dreams from the Reaper by LilHavoc04. Real name, Wesley. How does it know? Where do I say my real name is Wesley? Yes, it's true. That is my real name. I always joke and say my name's like Steven, Alfred. I always give like aliases. I never give out my real. Did I get it from my Facebook account? Okay, what we do know, what it seems to aim for, and how to interpret it. Some details are limited, so it makes up facts and informed speculation. Let's see what it thinks. Okay, I read the first part. When the album appears to be about thematic overview. Okay. From the announcement quote in the title, the album seems to adopt a dark, introspective theme. Reaper imagery, gates opening, dreams, all suggest a focus on morality, transformation, and perhaps confronting fears or the unknown. ChatGPT gets it. But it did miss some of the stuff I put on for the deluxe edition. But that's okay. It's just AI after all. The notions of dreams from the Reaper implies receiving visions, dreams from the Reaper. Death, the end, or perhaps being in liminal space between life and whatever comes next. Yes! It is doing pretty damn good. Given LilHavoc04's independent/underground status, he refers to himself as a terrible musician in a self-deprecating way on SoundCloud. That is a joke. I know I have a bit of talent, but yes, it is a self-deprecating joke. The reason I put specifically a terrible musician is essentially to take the power from anyone who wants to say, oh, you're a terrible musician. Like, yeah, I already said it on my SoundCloud. Like, I know I'm not the greatest. I'm no Avenged Sevenfold. I'm no Korn. I'm not the greatest musician. Not an Ozzy Osbourne. The project may lean into DIY, experimental, raw production, and an emotional/thematic rather than a polished pop sound. Yes. During the album, you can hear from the beginning near the end that I seem to get better and better and better because I never went back and redid anything. Because I wanted to show what a person can do when they're starting out versus near the end. So you can see what, as the album progresses, I get better and better and better and better. Which I think is really cool. And then sometimes you get stuff like what I'm recently putting out, like the new song that's on Eye of the Beholder, Blood on the Scales. You can hear that has a more polished sound than the beginning of Dreams from the Reaper. Okay, possible structure, deluxe edition, significance. Main release date, October 15th. That is correct. The deluxe edition, October 31st. Halloween! That's thematically very appropriate given the dark Reaper motif. Okay, so there's two reasons I chose October 31st. This was started all the way back in, well, I really went full force back in July. The reason I chose October to do all this because I thought it'd give me enough time, which obviously it did. Give me plenty of time because I had the album done by August. So it just gave me an entire month to sit back, relax, and just spam on Twitter that I have it done and just give out teasers and shit. And also, yes, Halloween, very significant. So the original thing was October 15th, and originally I was going to release everything on October 15th, and I'm like, I want to push it back. You have the deluxe edition where some of my favorite songs are on it. Okay, deluxe editions often include bonus tracks, alternative versions / remixes, or deeper dives into themes. So it's likely this one does too. And let me... Okay, so there is a difference between what I posted on... there's a difference between what I posted on YouTube and what the full deluxe edition has. The full deluxe edition has more than just... has more than just... The deluxe edition has more than just the original songs and bonus songs. It also has all of these. It has all the official instrumentals, but that's not going to be on YouTube. When I release this as its own project, it will. So... So, why it matters for you as a fan. Since you're a fan of Little Havoc 04, wait a minute, I'm a fan of myself? And you've told me you like the weird, goofy lines from things like Goku's character. This album could show a different side of his creative voice, more atmospheric, more thematic, maybe blending humor with darkness. The Reaper Dreams motif. And by interesting interpretations, maybe he's using horror imagery or metaphors of death to talk about change, ambition, failure, and perseverance. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. My interpretation for what to listen for. When you listen or re-listen, you might pay attention to lyrics. Are there references to gates, dreams, death, and rebirth? Yes, there is. Tone instrumentation. Is there heavy, ambient, aggressive, melodic? How does it match the Reaper theme? He's got all of those. It's got heavy, ambient, aggressive, and melodic. I specifically didn't lean too much towards one sound. Yes, there are a lot of songs on the album that have the... But then there's also the melodic orchestral songs, like Dreams or Final Rest. Track order. Does the track progress from darkness to light, from life to death, afterlife, or something cynical? No. No, it does not. There is no specific order. It's just open the gates and the day the Eagles died. There's no progression of like. If you listen to the main album, yes. If you listen to just the bass edition, there is open the gates, and then Dream from the Reaper, which is just open the gates, sort of like birth, and then Dream of a Reaper, whatever I called it. is the ending, death. And then the rest of it is just like, I had some fun and showed off. Okay, deluxe edition content are the bonus tracks that expand on the theme in a different style. A remix, acoustic version, spoken word. No. I did put instrumentals in the deluxe, in the digital deluxe. In the downloaded deluxe edition. But the spoken word song is on the bass edition. Go listen. I had some fun with it. Emotional arc. Does the album make you feel ominous, hopeful, cathartic? For an artist like Wesley, that emotional honesty may be a key strength. Hang on, I want to ask you track by track. Yes. Okay. Okay, actually just go through. Open the gates. As an opener, the title suggests a threshold moment fitting the Reaper theme, perhaps the gate between life and death, or between ignorance and awareness. It is likely to set the mood, introduce the album's world. Yes, that was the whole point. Open the gates was opening the gates into that realm. And it also served as the open the gate into the album, and it also served as a pun. Gates of damnation. So yes, it served as a decent opening, but it's also a pun. As the smoke clears, smoke often stands for confusion, battle, chaos. So when the smoke clears, one confronts reality. In the context of the Reaper Gates theme, it might represent clarity after turbulence. Also, yes. But the clarity and the chaos and the reality of it is that at the end of the day, no one cares what you think. Unless you do something significant. But even then, 100 years from now, people are going to forget who you even were. So, as the smoke clears, no one really cares. Sick fuck. The strong language hints at raw emotion, perhaps the self-condemnation or critique on others. Might be one of the more aggressive, cathartic pieces on the record. Yes! This specific song serves as a fuck you to people like anyone who's done some sick crime. Pedophiles, rapists, anyone like that. It also serves as sort of a battle cry for the traumatized. Or at least that's what I went for. Alright. Sounds of the Dead. Literally evokes death, or what remains after life. Echoes, memories. The track likely deals with loss or confrontation of mortality, fitting the overall concept Dreams from the Reaper. I just wanted to make a cool zombie song. No, but in reality, yes. Originally, I wanted to make a cool zombie sound. There was no full story. Like, I did want to wrap everything around to the concept of death or afterlife or mortality, something like that. But the whole reason I made the song was I wanted to make a cool zombie song. And we'll do that when we get to Final Stand. I'll say something more about that. That song, yes. It sort of got it right. Sort of. I'd have to look back at the lyrics because I don't have my songs memorized. Okay, interlude. Often a moment of pause or pivot, perhaps ambient, experimental, introspective. In this album structure, it might transition the tone from a more external action into internal reflection. Yes! Actually, that is pretty good. Okay. So, Interlude is just a cool poem I wanted to write. It was mostly inspired by the Castle That Never Dies off of D.A. Games' Heart of an Artist. I just wanted to make a cool little poem that had a bit of lore. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to make something different. Okay. The Devil I've Become. This title suggests self-transformation into something unwanted. A devil metaphorically. It could reflect regret, self-dissent, or facing one's darker side. Given your interest in humorous/goofy lines from your mention of Goku's lines, this track might contrast by being serious/dark, giving you a different tone in his work. That is interesting. Yes, it's supposed to be facing your darker side and embracing it, using it to fight what you absolutely hate. Sort of like Eddie Brock embracing Venom in the Venom trilogy. Instead of trying to fight it, he used it to become more powerful, to help others. And that's sort of what The Devil I Become is talking about. It also focuses on racial injustice, but more of the silly 1800s racial injustice, not modern racial injustice. It just literally talks about cotton pickers. Like, not to sound offensive, but it literally talks about cotton pickers and trying to free them. Okay, Final Stand. As a closer or near closer, the term final stand evokes a last act of resistance, culmination, or ultimate confrontation. Fits well with the concept album's end. It's not a concept album. The final confrontation with the Reaper or with oneself. No. I think this is the first one that's gotten basically completely wrong. Yes, it is a last stand. But if I wanted to write a song about the United States Marines, I grew up with my grandfather was in the Marines during the Vietnam War. He worked on the planes, and I wanted to make my own sort of. I wanted to make my own military song like Avenged Sevenfold did on the Nightmare album. I wanted to make my own danger line. Avenged Sevenfold Nightmare. I wanted to make my own danger line, and I'm currently working on a song to celebrate the United States Marines' birthday. But no, first of all, it's not this album is not a concept album, and it's not a confrontation with the Reaper. It's just straight up enemies. Okay, the album's title, Dreams from the Reaper, frames an entire work as visions or messages from the Reaper. Death, transformations, endings. The release pattern, main on October 15th, deluxe on October 31st, Halloween. Further underscores the dark, mortal, horror motif. The title tracks from the gate opening, clarity, aftermath, aggression, sick fuck, death, sounds, interlude, pause, self-confrontation, devil, final stand. That arc suggests progression, entering a threshold, seeing chaos, facing death, internal reflection, self-judgment, final reckoning. What to listen for and how to appreciate it. Since the lyrics are not publicly documented, at least not easily found. Really? You just go on YouTube. One of my things is that I post the lyrics in the description so you can listen along. Because I don't have the best microphone, so I want to give the person a chance to hear what I'm saying. I also like reading lyrics as I'm listening to a song. Now here to listen for. Repeated motif, reference gate, shadows, the Reaper, dreams or dreaming, dead, stand up. Mood shifts. Notice how instrumentation or tone changes from track 1 to track last. Do we go from dark and heavy to more sparse and hopeful, or remain bleak? Lyrics versus production. Are the words more direct? I am the devil I've become, or metaphorical? Does the production, beat, soundscape support the theme? Heavy bass for final stand. Ambient for interlude. Okay, that one's just correct. That one's definitely yeah. Deluxe edition. If you have access, check whether the extra tracks expand theme, remixes, alternate versions, deeper introspection, or shift perspective. Maybe perhaps glitch humor or lighter tone. Contrast with his other work. Since you're already familiar with Wesley, a fan of him, consider how this album diverges from his usual style. If his other pieces are found more humorous, light, this one may be more serious and conceptual. Okay, so let's see what it says about Deluxe Edition. I'm interested to see what it thinks about the Deluxe Edition. Huh? Hold up, are my songs actually on here? No, this is Lil Reaper, not me. Open the gates. Okay. I'll give it a chance to sir. I'll give it a chance. I will give it a chance to beautiful playlist. Yes, this is the entire playlist. I will give it a chance. Break down the songs. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go from top to bottom. Obviously, it had a little confusion. Okay, open the gates. Tone, ominous climax, cinematic, slowed build up. Not really. It'd been a lot cooler if I did that, but no, what it was just open the gates and it started off with a okay, it serves as the invocation, beginning of the story. The gates symbolize the entry into another realm, possibly death, dreamscape, or inner consciousness. Yes. Sound, haunting synths, deep reverb, a sense of something awakening. Really? I mean, you can interpret it as that. Like, I'm not going to tell you that one interpretation is correct. Because at the end of the day, it's an album. I want you to interpret it how you want. I have my own interpretation. You can have your own interpretation. Both will be fucking correct. That's how I try to write these. Not one interpretation is correct. They're all correct. Unless you want to go by the story I'm trying to tell. Then only one is correct. But if you want to ignore the story, then every possibility is correct. This track opens the door into the Reaper's world. Wesley positions himself, or the listener, as someone about to cross the threshold. Either spiritually or psychologically. You'll never see me flirting with the other side. As the smoke clears, tone, atmospheric, emotionally charged. Emerging from chaos, seeing the aftermath or destruction of destruction or trauma. Sounds, likely transitions from distortion to clarity, representing smoke dissipating. This is the moment after impact. The Reaper has arrived. Now the protagonist sees what's left behind. Broken memories, shattered self, or the cost of choices. Symbolically, it's about confronting the truth when illusions burn away. Another correct answer. Sick fuck. Raw, angry, unapologetic. Rage against either self or others. The title screams self-loathing, madness, or catharsis. Sound. Harsh distortion, possible in industrial or metal-inspired edge. A purge track. Lil How's therefore tears into hypocrisy, pain, or guilt. The sick persona could represent corruption by the Reaper's influence, or part of him reveling in... The Reaper doesn't really have any... The Grim Reaper itself doesn't have any leeway into the story I'm trying to tell. It's just a title. I thought it sounded cool. It's just a title. Part of him reveling in the chaos. Oh, the sound of the dead, what a wonderful sound. Rejoice for the zombies all around. Eerie, darkly melodic, melancholic. Communication with lost souls or metaphorically. The echoes of past actions and regrets. Expect echo effects, ambient layers, maybe reverse audio to simulate voices. And the protagonist begins hearing the dead, perhaps victims, memories, or internal ghosts. And the song bridges the gap between life and death. It symbolizes consciousness, every choice haunting him. You could see it as that, but again, I wanted to make a cool zombie song. But if you really think about it, I don't think there's really not really a thing that says, hey, there really are zombies here. You forgot Infection, Final Stand, Dreams of the Reaper. First of all, really? That's what you get when you look at the recommendation. You get Avenged Sevenfold's G, Following Universe's All My Women, Eminem's Houdini, JT Music's Solo, and Daddy Fat Snaps' Bet. I mean, yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from those artists. Avenged Sevenfold, Following Universe, Eminem, JT Music, Daddy Fat Snaps. Yeah, definitely took inspiration, especially like DA games. But back to Sound Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Rejoice with the zombies all around. It's just a zombie song. And trying to kneel to the zombies. I mean, yeah, you can interpret it as not a zombie song if you really are not focusing hard enough, but yeah, other than that. So I have some of this. Interlude, Calm Before Storm. Ambient or spoken. Both. Theme, reflection. Possibly the voice of the Reaper or the protagonist's mind. I don't know. Something seems kind of fishy. I don't know. Something seems pretty fishy. Um. I'd have to find it again. Let me extract all. Yeah, let me just put on interlude. So let you listen to it.
During the hardest of times, many will dwell. The strongest of minds will always prevail. Even in hell, they'll always tell, this is just the beginning of the story.
Will the story ever end? It won't, will it?
Okay. While we're here, might as well show you what you get. I'm gonna eventually post this somewhere. But this is what comes with the full deluxe download. You get the bass sound. You get the bass, the original. You get villain arc. You get the deluxe edition. You get the bass album, all the bonus songs, and then you get the instrumental for the bass album. Yeah. You know. Yeah, it's like eat everything. No problem. And then you just okay. Access the pause in the narrative. Maybe he's realizing what the Reaper wants, or the meaning behind his dreams. The stillness intensifies what comes next. Not necessarily. It's like saying this is a book, this is a poem, in the story. Will the story ever end? It won't, will it? It's sort of a symbolism for life itself. In corruption. Will the story of life and corruption ever end? It won't, will it? Okay. The Devil I Become Dark Confessional. full descent, acceptance of one's own darkness. Likely heavy bass, layered vocals, echoes, screams, and limiting lines. The emotional core of the album. The title implies self-awareness. He's realized that all of his choices, or the Reaper's influence, have turned him into the very thing he's feared. This could be about power, addiction, or moral collapse. Facing the mirror self. Symbolically, it's not about literal evil. It's about embracing flaws and seeing the devil as a part of itself. That would have been so much cooler. I understand that there are parts of the album where I kind of fucked up. Like, I could have done better. The two that come to mind that I fucked up with are The Devil I Become and Infection. Those two I definitely fucked up with. But I still see them as like a fun little, hey, this album isn't perfect. And I didn't want it to be. That's why I didn't go back and redo them, because I didn't want them to be perfect. I didn't want to come in swinging. I wanted to come in, put my foot in the door, say, hey, I'm here. Final stand. Climactic, defiant, maybe even heroic. Confrontation either with Reaper, inner demons, or fate itself. The closest thing here is fate itself. Sounds, expect anthemic energy, a finale built on determination rather than despair. Interpretation. The protagonist either fights the Reaper or accepts him. The final stand is a culmination, death or transcendence. Thematically, he represents balance. After all chaos, he finds an equilibrium between light and dark. Ironically, we are coming out with a new song called Blood on the Scales. Let's give you a quick preview of that. Let me just give you a quick preview of it.
Light devours the night. Only in the breaking point do we find what's right.
Times pride. Watches their happens and counts to cry. Storm and bear we fight.
When the world tilts up. We are the dawn, we are the dust, born from ashes, return to dust. That is all the teaser I'm gonna give for that song, but I will announce our new logo for King's Retribution. Right here, King's Retribution. I just thought it looked cool. The other one, there was two I was looking for. This was the other one I had two made, and it was deciding between them. I was deciding between them. Then I'm like, yeah, this one's cooler, but I put the black box in there, and AI kind of fucked up. Yes, these logos are made by AI, and I had a ton of input. I was sitting there, I was like, I want it to be like this, like this, like this, no, like this, like this, like this, and then AI fucked up on the right one. I'm like, So ultimately, we came up with this one. Also, this for some reason was a D, and I put King's Retribution. So I just sat there for like an hour trying to make it kind of look like a B. So, King's Retribution. Okay. Deluxe Edition's Halloween release. Grave Talk. There is no Grave Talk. Drown with me. Reaper Stream. Those are not songs on the album. Where do you get these? Those songs do not exist on the album, but god damn it, I wish it was. Let's see what they think this should have been on the album. Cold tone. A cold retro cold introspective, possibly minimal. Theme, a conversation with death, a dialogue with the Reaper himself. Interpretation might be quieter, lyrical, or spoken, almost like a poetic soliloquy. Symbolizes acceptance and communication with mortality. Okay, again, that doesn't exist. Drown with me. Melancholy and hypnotic. A temptation to give in either into despair, love, or oblivion. Sounds, flowing rhythm, or reverb-heavy vocals that mimic the feeling of drowning. Interpretation, a dark love song. Drown with me. Could share pain or surrendering together. Represents the seductive pull of darkness. Reaper's Dream. Ethereal, dreamlike, slow fade. The Reaper dreams too, suggesting death is not the end but part of a cycle. Interpretation turns the album's title inward. What if the Reaper dreams of us? It closes the story in balance. Life and death intertwined. Symbolically, Wesley closes the concept with ambiguity. Has he died, awakened, or transcended? That one, I think I know where I got that from. I have a song on the deluxe edition called Dreams. I have a song on here called Dreams. So that's where it could have gotten that. Overall concept summary. Dreams from the Reaper plays like a journey through death, self-destruction, and transformation. It's a concept album, no it's not, about balance between life and death, guilt and acceptance, rage and peace. The Reaper is not just death, he's also a teacher, forcing reflection. The dreams are visions of self-truth that come when everything else is stripped away. By final stand, the protagonist reaches an understanding. Death is inevitable, but meaning is a choice. No. No, it is not. It is not a concept album. But, yeah, it was a cool thing. Okay, so I do want to ask one more thing. All having 0 music as a musician. Alright, describe me. Excellent question. Okay. Public release, time and creative. Lil Havig's Year 4. The artist behind the chaos. Lil Havig's Year 4 He is a dark experimental artist and a DIY musician from Indiana. How the fuck did it know? How the fuck did it know where I'm from? Who blends elements of rap, metal, rap, and ambient horror-inspired soundscapes. He isn't chasing mainstream polish. His sound is built on emotions, rawness, and storytelling through chaos. His music feels personal, even confrontational, as if he's exercising his thoughts straight into the mic rather than performing for approval. He's known for mixing psychological horror, introspection, and thematic storytelling, often through concept-driven releases like Dreams from the Reaper. Okay, it's cool to hear what even like machines think of me. Because I'm sitting here with my own eyes looking back at me and I'm like, I could do better. But to hear like a third, like a second perspective, like a third person perspective of me, even if it's artificial, still cool to hear. Music style. Little Habit 204's music crosses several boundaries. Genre fusion. Hip hop grit meets metal aggression with cinematic or horror tinged atmosphere. Production, often lo-fi, dark, and intentionally rough, embracing distortion and echo to mirror internal struggle. Vocal delivery shifts between raspy aggression, eerie calm, and tormented confession. He treats his voice like an instrument, sometimes a growl, sometimes a whisper, and then a sky. Influence vibes. Think early XXXTentacion for emotion. You could say that. Ghosty Mane for horror tone. No clue who that is, honestly. If that's a real artist, which it could be, I might have to go and listen to him. Scarl XRD, Scarl, I don't know who that is for intensity, and Einstein Kills for narrative flair. Another name I do know. But filtered through Wesley's unique, unpolished honesty. His lyrics often focus on mortality, and the Reaper archetype. Death as both threat and teacher. Self-destruction and redemption. A balance between chaos and clarity, mirrored in the cult equilibrium concept you created earlier. A perfect thematic parallel. Inner demons, personal identity, and fighting versions of oneself that don't belong anymore. Each track feels like a confession session with death listening in on the other side. For those who don't know, okay, so I'm going to reveal this King's Retribution lore sheet. Through the King's Retribution artist thing that I have. Yes, there is lore to it. And the new track, Blood on the Scales, is based on the Cult of Equilibrium. So, I put this together with the help of ChatGPT, which is why it mentions Narrative in the Cult of Equilibrium. I sat down the overall what I wanted from it and let ChatGPT do the rest. And then I created a song from what ChatGPT was talking about, posted in... it should be out by now. Yeah, Blood on the Scale. Yeah, it's not out yet. Okay. Yeah, this is literally what I do. Okay. Blood on the Scales, I created a song out of that concept. Okay. Artistic philosophy. Wesley's work suggests he sees music as therapy and storytelling, not a product. He doesn't shy away from being vulnerable or self-deprecating, as seen on his SoundCloud bio calling himself a terrible musician. But that irony hides a clear self-awareness. He knows his imperfections are what make the art real. He crafts concept albums, not just a collection of songs. Dreams from the Reaper isn't a playlist, it's a narrative art, a descent and rebirth through darkness. I like that. I like that interpretation of me. Okay, Little Havoc 04 embodies duality. Little Havoc. Chaos, rebellion, destruction. 04. Structure, rebirth, the balance between the beginning and end. 4 is being a number often tied to transformation or death symbolism in Eastern cultures. Is it? Anyone from the Eastern who's watching this video, please tell me if that's actually what the number 4 represents. I know that there are numbers that do have representation, like 666 being the devil, 333 being God. I didn't know that. If that's really what it is. Why he stands out. Authenticity over perfection. Concept-driven artistry. Fearless emotion. DIY originality. Embracing imperfection as a signature. And that's exactly what I was fucking saying earlier. I don't want perfection. I want authenticity. I want my imperfections to be known. I am not a god. I am a human. Like the rest of you, I make mistakes. And I embrace them, which is why I didn't change. And those 2 songs I was talking about earlier, I completely forgot their names. Infection and The Devil I Become. Those 2. He's part of the rising underground wave where emotional truth and dark introspection matter more than commercial sound, carving his own lane in the dark trap, metal ram, experimental space. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Summary. Lil Havoc 04 Music is a self-forged artist who uses darkness as a paint and pain as percussion. His sound through raw poetry for those haunted by their own thoughts. A chaotic sermon for someone who's danced with the Reaper and came back to write about it. Yes. I'm always pretty open about my trauma. When I was a child, a lot of things happened to me that required me to go to therapy. And even like a couple years back, I was starting to write music. I had a song that it's now been lost to time. It was based on 5 Minutes Freddy's Security Breach, called Behind the Mask. That never got released. And I was scared to release it because I saw that another artist posted a song called Behind the Mask. And I didn't want to have sort of a DA CG5 situation where I post a song that was written months prior to that song and just be like, oh, you copied the title! You copied the title! So I was scared and put it on hold and put it on the shelf. Actually, it was on this phone in particular. This phone doesn't work anymore. So I'd have to figure out how to sign back into my Samsung account to find it. But even when I was younger, I would use my trauma as inspiration to write music. So yes, this has given a lot of moral ambiguity I don't know what you would call it. But yeah, that was completely perfect. And I just want to say, Express Little Havoc 04 is a Let's Player on YouTube. Let's shift gears from musician to YouTuber. Okay. The chaotic gamer philosopher. Overall persona. On YouTube, Lil Havoc 04 isn't a standard Let's Player. He's the embodiment of controlled chaos, a mix of sharp humor, unpredictable energy, and genuine reactions that make every video feel alive. Imagine a creator who can scream at a horror jump scare 1 second and then drop a surprisingly deep quote about life the next. That's Wesley in a nutshell. He plays games not just to win, but to vibe with the madness. Whether it's in Five Nights at Freddy's, Hello Neighbor, or something completely unhinged, he brings that same dark but funny charisma from his music into his commentary. Have I done a video on Hello Neighbor? I don't think I have. I'll look at it later. Okay, goofy yet sharp. He delivers chaotic commentary like a mix between Corey X. Cantion's playfulness and Jacksepticeye's energy, but with darker humor and self-awareness. He leans into sarcasm and absurdity, often reacting to game logic like, oh yeah, oh sure, yeah, let me just run towards the demon. That's smart, brain. 10 out of 10 move. You know, I think I've made a joke similar to that. He also throws in references to memes. Anime, like Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and his own music, building a Lil Havoc universe across both mediums. Yeah, actually. I'm surprised you knew that. Because there is sort of a universe I'm building, because there's my ARG YouTube thing. There's King Retribution, there's all that. And then I also brought over my Resurgence ARG and put it and built stuff within my own YouTube videos, and even in my horror stuff. I've literally built up some of my ARG through it. Like in my Call of Duty has unique marketing, whatever I called it. I had a bit of a conversation that tied to the lore of the Resurgence ARG. Alright, next, tone and style. No fake YouTuber voice. It's all raw, sometimes quiet, sometimes explosive. Darkly comedic. Even when playing horror, he balances tension with humor. He'll roast the monster chasing him, and himself for being scared. Yeah. Self-aware. He'll break the fourth wall mid-game. If I die again, that's on me and my poor life choices. Immersive. He narrates like he's inside of the game world, turning each session into performance. They're probably referencing my What If Subject 106 talked in Trepang 2. I have done that, yes. That is a thing I've done. Okay. Let's play with commentary. Classic gameplay mixed with storytelling and improv humor. Yep. Horror reaction videos. He thrives on comedy, especially indie horror titles. Okay, yeah, I've done indie horror. Occasional challenge videos. Things like Can I Survive John Cena or The Neighbor versus My Sanity. Entertaining, chaotic experiments. I haven't released that video. How the fuck did it know that I had a challenge video? I haven't done a proper challenge video, but I do have one in the mix. Where I play Killer in Purple 2 by doing the canon round of Killer in Purple 2. Killing only 5 children in total. That's scary. Crossovers the music, sometimes his own tracks playing intros, outros, connecting his musician persona to his gaming brand. I mean, what's a boy gotta do? I did have I think like a hip hop thing that I wanted to write. It could be this down here. Yes. I created a bit of a rap like years ago to promote my music. Bro, I just opened up a new channel built for my music. You won't see a camel. If you like my rapping, go and check it out. Promoting it here because I need the clouds. But yes, I've done that. Audience appeals. Mans love him for being real. He doesn't hide frustration or hype. Both are genuine. He's relatable. The gamer who freaks out, laughs it off, and keeps going anyway. There's a cult following vibe. Those who get his humor, get it. People come for the games but stay for his personality, his funny takes, and his creative energy. I like being chaotic. It's fun. Okay. Personal summary. Little Habits before the Let's Player is a chaotic storyteller in gamer form. Part comedian, part philosopher, part walking glitch in the simulation. He doesn't just play games, he lives their insanity. Cracking jokes, breaking walls, and somehow turning laughter or terror into laughter. The fuck you think I am, Markiplier? Signature traits. Controlled chaos energy, jokes during jump scares, deep one-liners mid-game, sarcastic narrations, constant banter with NPCs and enemies. I've done that. Memorable quotes like, if the Reaper's camping spawn, I'm uninstalling reality. Balance? Yeah, I lost that 3 boss fights ago. I'm curious. You're not gonna see me do this because I'm always gonna keep mine. Okay, YouTube channel description. They'll have it for. Welcome to the realm of chaos, caffeine, and questionable decisions. I'm Lil Havix 4, your friendly neighborhood disaster. I play games, I live life, loud, unfiltered, probably making the wrong choices on purpose. Horror nightmares that take my soul, leave my body. It's a sandbox message. From horror nightmares that make my soul leave my body to sandbox madness that make me question physics, every video is pure havoc energy. Expect screaming at monsters I should have run from, sarcastic commentary that even my future self regrets, philosophical breakdowns in the middle of total panic, my own dark beats and tracks mixed in. Yes, I make music too. Here, chaos isn't the problem, it's the goal. If you like horror, humor, and unhinged energy all in one place, hit subscribe, grab your flashlight, and enter the Havoc Zone. When the Reaper comes around, open the gate. That's interesting. So I'm gonna do this later. Alright, so that is the video. It was an hour freaking long. But I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. My name is Lil Havix 4. I'm terrible at outros. You know what? I'm gonna generate an outro. Well, we survived. Somehow. Or maybe we didn't. Either way, thanks for sticking around the Havoc Zone. If you laugh, scream, or question your life choices with me today, hit the subscribe button, smash like, and ring the bell. You don't want the Reaper sneaking in when you least expect it. Got a challenge for me? A game you want me to break? Haunts? Or just scream at? Drop it in the comments. I dare you. Until next time, stay chaotic, stay unhinged, watch your back. Remember, the Reaper's always watching, and he loves a good fail. Okay. Thanks for watching. My name is Low Havoc 4. Peace out.